Do you care about women?
No.
Sure, art collectors are supposed to have this much swag.
No, God!
You'd think Batwoman couldn't get any worse. Anytime I make these videos, I always say that, I always have that in mind, despite the fact that it's always disproved. Brace yourself, because if you think evil Nigella was bad, it's gonna get worse. I wanna get off Mr. Bones' wild ride, but there's no door. Welcome back to Wish for Death Island. I think it's high time that I announce that you're here too. Rachel Maddow starts talking about drugs and shit. It's that snakebite drug that makes no sense from the last episode, the one with the fear toxin or some shit. Apparently Gotham already has enough drug problems, and we get some shots of the drugs.
Apparently makes an amphetamine high feel like your Earl Grey has steeped for too long.
Oh no, someone's found the effects panel.
More fang for your buck.
No. But she describes how it's really popular, but doctors say drug bad. But we get a shot of these being packed into nice boxes with shiny labels, and some high school dude takes one, so I guess drug good. I don't really know what the drugs do exactly. They're not really described as something that has like a specific pattern, like does it mellow you out, is it an upper? I guess it's some sort of like weird stimulant that makes you all skittish. I guess it's like Ayahuasca or something. I think that's how you say it, the one where you have to drink the tea. Random fact that you don't really care about me, number 394. I really like listening to drug reports, or like trip reports. I like listening to the ones where they talk about how they had some really spooky shit happen to them and the trip lasted for like 5 days because they were an idiot and had took too much of it when they shouldn't have or something. I love listening to those. I listen to those all the fucking time. I feel like it comes into my creative writing at this point, like about how I think about spooky shit, but as someone who's a fan of listening to those, I can tell you this episode kind of annoyed me. Also, the thing with the boxes, they look like they're just making normal shit and not like some secret drug, especially since Rachel Maddow seems to be advertising it. If anything, she doesn't really seem to give a shit. She's just like, yay, drugs. And so I have to wonder, is it really that hard to find out who's been making these, because they seem to just be selling them very conspicuously. They even got like shiny logos and massive boxes. I don't think that they know exactly how hiding shit works. Luckily, when the high school dude takes a drug, Batwoman here helps give the drug bad speech. She looks like that suit is so awkward to navigate. I feel sorry for the actress.
That's the point. Fear. Fantasy.
But not to worry, because the dude also has a speech prepared about drug good. He closes his eyes for like 2 seconds and she's fucking gone. I suppose she can teleport. Then he screams because he gets flipped upside down.
Hi, Herbert.
Isn't he too out of it? I don't know what it does, whatever. Then she asks for his dealer. This is Emoji Face Man, who thinks that he can run faster than a car, which is something that I hate about these shows because people never seem to think to like zigzag or get away from the car, so they just run forwards.
Target acquired.
Luckily, Batwoman has a Nam flashback or something, so she swerves a lot and she doesn't really get him. Then she gets her bullshit gadget out and just catches him. Lord knows why she didn't do that before when he was closer to her. She gives him a speech about ruining lives.
You get off on ruining lives? Stop destroying lives!
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch the overtones of this episode. Do you perchance mean to say that drug bad?
Tell my clients what to do.
I can't hear what he's saying. She lets go of him, so he needs to tell his boss a warning. And then she finds a jewelry store that's going off. Don't those places take the jewels away from the windows when they close? But it's not the store. The store alarm was set off by this boy who wanted to get her attention because he couldn't use the bat signal. His brother is missing and went to school before setting off for like 3 months.
Because the bat lights will yank the door. Do you care about women?
I will not make fun of this child actor. I will not make fun of this child actor.
I have received intelligence.
Jacob sounds drunk again. I guess this is just like a regular thing now. In the first season he introduced the vocal fry and now he's introducing the Jack Daniels. He explains the plot about Kate still being alive out there somewhere. And there's also some Gotham crime-fueled thing about the bad people syndicate. The newscaster then makes a funny face to show that she's listening. He's offering a massive amount of money for someone who knows information about her, which Asian doesn't seem to be too happy about. She's using her noggin and says that the information is from evil Nigella and Alice, so this could be false. But Luke says,
See, Alice can't get my hopes up because I never lost hope to begin with.
Because Luke is stupid. Luke fucks off and Ryan fucks in, saying police aren't looking for this kid because black, and they gotta find him because black. But he went missing in the bad part of town because black, where the foster homes were filled with bad people. In the past, Ryan, as a child, talks way too much, and this girl informs her of this. This dialogue is like 2D villain at its finest.
Your mama tell you that you talk too damn much? I know you hear me.
She then meets Manic Pixie Dream Girl and they become friends immediately. In the present, Ryan was apparently sitting there for 40 fucking minutes in this flashback, but she seems to snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. They go on a road trip to check out where the kid went, and Asian is like, wow, you live in the van? Like the poors? Like the filth with no money? Let me take a selfie in the poor place. Ryan sees her comic from when she was a child and flashes back again, where an old lady sees her and tries to get her to get the comics in her van, which is obviously a thing to get her into the fucking van. Then she fucking gets into the van and the lady just takes her. In the present day, she informs Asian of this child trafficking problem while dubstep plays in the background.
That because the same damn thing happened to me.
Meanwhile, Black Lightning gets a visit from Alice, who insults her bathtub, eats her food like a freeloader, and then explains the plot of the last episode. Alice wants Black Lightning to find someone that Evil Nigella wants her to find. Evil Nigella wants this person in exchange for Kate, but Alice is like, let me psychoanalyze you, your fridge does not have expired food, therefore you don't like taking risks. And then Black Lightning is like, you have seen right through me, let us find Kate. So then she needs to find a man named Ocean Man. Meanwhile, Jacob is trying to find the painting from the screenshot that Kate took. Ryan explains this human trafficker shit where this woman is really good at finding kids to take and sprayed something in Ryan's face to confuse her when she woke up because she was an invisible kid who no one cared about on the streets. This lady is like, you will soon learn to appreciate me, and wants to sell her to some child army. This lady knows no one is going to come to save this bitch. This lady's face reminds me of that one Gojira album. This lady brings up how comic books never feature kids like Ryan because Ryan is invisible and even the comic books don't care about her. I don't like this lady's acting. She's like retard Umbridge, and Umbridge is already retard Umbridge.
There are no more jelly beans left. You'll realize I am the only one who's here for you.
But she has this system where she has a jar of 60 beans. She takes one away each day, and that's the time period for her to break the kids down. I like this concept actually, and there's a shot that I actually kind of like of the beans going down, but I dislike basically everything else about how rushed the concept is and how little they do to show her breaking down besides this bitch showing up and being like, you suck lol, and then leaving. Like, you could get kind of like an old boy kind of vibe of trying to show the passage of time and him like going insane, but I guess, you know, jelly beans. Then one day someone did actually turn up to look for her, but this lady acts like she doesn't know anything, but then oh no, they weren't looking for her, they were looking for a white girl and not the black girl. Ryan then goes on about white people again, and Asian makes the connection that the missing kid is Beth. Alice and Black Lightning are arguing. Alice is mocking her, so Black Lightning tells her to leave before Alice breaks out the therapy again. It's like they gave her Black Lightning's character bio from the wiki, and what we know from last season, they're not ashamed of using the wiki. Alice opens the door and points a gun at Luke, who you'd think would be more careful when he knows that Alice can just show up anywhere at any time. Asian says that she's moving into Kate's old place and they're going through her records, and says Ryan should live there too. Asian goes off on the same sub-story of no one looking for Beth. I guess Alice stopped doing that, so every other character is doing it now. They figure out what to do because Ryan's friend came looking for her, and now she doesn't talk to that friend anymore. I guess this is the ex-girlfriend. For someone who hasn't spoken to you in so long, the first message that you say is, yo, hit me up. But she says it's the wrong number because she's playing hard to get, so they look at all the addresses of the people who knock on doors to find missing kids, and Kate has these records, so they go and see all of them until they find the house. Ryan says that she has to go alone because reasons. Meanwhile, Alice explains the plot of the episode to Luke, and then mentions killing the man that they're looking for, and Black Lightning is like, Nani? Like, what did you expect, you fucking idiot? This is Alice. Obviously she's gonna go kill that guy. She somehow gets Alice to back the fuck up and takes her eyes off Alice for a single second. Color me surprised. Ryan goes to the candy lady and says, I am someone who cares about Kevin, so they take Ryan in with some weirdo gas. This is why she went alone, I see now. Meanwhile, Luke has become the third musketeer. Apparently, Alice in all her infinite wisdom watches 90 Day Fiancé and wants a 6-pack of beer.
Tell me you recorded 90 Day Fiancé.
Ryan then wakes up and is all spooked, but then she remembers the other lady saving them as a kid, so she has a flashback about a comic she read and gets the strength to stand up, and then weird lady hears some noises. Then she fights the lady or something, and this bitch is okay, I don't know what's happening. But apparently the missing kid is with the mask emoji people, and he is one of the people who attacked Jacob, who was asking about the plane that Kate was on, alone, because he's an idiot. Why does Jacob just come to places alone and not tell anyone the specific address of where he's going, or like take backup even if he hides the backup? Like there's just no one there. It seems like he should be more careful since he's like the lead of a private security place. Must be the booze. But Black Lightning turns up to the place just in time because Blonde suggested to find this ocean man there, and this other bitch shows up to have the fight for like 40 minutes, but she apparently wanted to come to rob the place and Alice just turns up because reasons. So they talk and do more therapy speak, and then she kicks Black Lightning in the face. The man in the emoji mask says Kevin must kill someone if he says that he wants to join them, and Batwoman shows up and beats everyone up. How did she change in time? The kid's like, I want family, and then explains his entire character, and then she talks him down by explaining her entire character, and he puts the gun down and then she just like fucks off.
You know he was here.
Easy. I looked.
Rachel Maddow explains the bullshit for the candy lady, and Jacob says that Batwoman saved him, so he's having a crisis. Black Lightning says that they need to find Kate before Alice does. Ryan looks at her boo-boo. Asian goes on about Kate looking for Beth because Kate is perfect and special, and explains her character, mourning, and her motivation in a nice little summary. Alice finds a thing. Alice has a flashback about being in love with the ocean man or something and wonders what the fuck is going on. Remember your boyfriend from season 1? What happened to him? And the lady from the room before shows up. She's the lady from the thing, the candy lady thing. I can't remember how words work. They're together now. What is this shot?
I had a mouse in my life. And I killed him.
Bad people are meeting with Jacob for art things. Well, I guess bad person or mysterious person. I don't really know what his angle is. He decides to ramble a lot instead of like giving an answer, and talks about the painting that Jacob is looking for.
In antiquities, you wanna tie the room together with a vintage canvas that...
Someone, however, decides that they don't want this to happen and takes him out. Jacob is captured once again. Batwoman just randomly appears again. I guess she has like a tracker on him or something. Her voice mod thing is changed again. It's like 2 voices now instead of the one deep voice.
Oh, because it's hanging off my line. Quiet. She sent this guy.
They argue about Batwoman things. Ryan says,
All crows are bastards.
I guess Black Lightning is a bastard too. I mean, everyone in the show is a bastard because the show is written badly, but I don't think that's what they meant. I hate this Twitter politics crap. But then Rachel Maddow says that some things that sound bad. I have to just play them for you. I don't really know how to put it into words.
Iridescent emoji, millennial hacktivism at its finest. East End crime scene. Are we looking at Gotham's newest power couple?
No.
And apparently they had sex, and they go about it for way too long. Not Rachel Maddow and the other person, but these two. I kind of said it like... This bitch recaps the plot and says that she left and Ryan ended up in jail. She gives her a necklace or something and they're freaking out about the injury that Ryan has that looks pretty bad. Why did she not notice this before? I mean, I thought you guys got all close. Wouldn't you have seen this giant glaring bruise? Asian tends to it and doesn't really know what it is. Asian compares Kate to Ryan and says that Ryan shouldn't compare Kate to Ryan. But then they have this dude from the beginning just having a good time in there, and Ryan says to starve him out, but Luke says that he got no hacker info, so they need to do something to get information out of him. This dude had killed the dude from the beginning for reasons. Jacob found the art thief that knew Kate, and Black Lightning's delivery of the next line is so awful I have to play it for you.
In other words, a likely member of the collective who might cooperate.
This dude's acting. He goes on about his crush for Kate and how good Kate is with fashion and queer confidence because of some queer thing that she did in high school.
Take me to pick her up, and Kate is jaw-dropping in this tailored velvet suit, and I came out by default.
Gay art snob, totally not a stereotype or anything. They're looking for a painting too. The painting from the screenshot was done by Joker, so they need to find it because it has like blood or hyper-realistic Squidward suicide or something. He gets spooked by their questions and just runs off. Black Lightning wants to talk to Batwoman, but Jacob gets angry. Alice has the same flashback of the ocean guy from last episode and then asks why she knows him when she doesn't. She walks into a bar and gets hit on and then talks about mouse and killing people, and the dude just leaves because she's crazy, and then she finds Ocean sitting next to her.
Back in town!
Batwoman shows up to talk about plot things. They argue about ACAB for like 40 minutes and Black Lightning is like, why you no help me? Then Ryan argues with them about not helping the crows because angry, and then she fucks off. Why does everyone sit on this rooftop when they could fall off and die? I mean, I wish they would die, but they don't, and I have to wonder why they do it. Ryan then talks about why she got arrested. One of them told her to smile more. They're all villains now. They're all as 2D as they need to be.
He yells out, "You be cuter with a smile on your face."
Caramba, that really hurt.
Luke says that the crows killed his dad, and I can't remember the side plot of the last season because I didn't really care, so I'm guessing that that's a thing that happened. I don't remember. I remember the court scene, but I don't remember what happened. I guess that's how they bond, these two. Then they just beat the fuck out of this fucking dude while the crows ask him questions when he doesn't really seem to give a shit. He lets slip that the painting is connected to evil Nigella and then takes a cyanide capsule even though they should have searched him for that before. They should know that that's something that would be there. Did they just not search him at all? Then they skip to afterwards, after they dump the body. So they just skip all of the interesting shit and they somehow know that they're gonna have to go to this specific auction for the painting. Ryan says that she's going in with no security, no crows, nothing, and Black Lightning is just like, yep, makes sense to me, that's a smart way to do it. I guess she's been hanging around with Jacob too much. Alice and Ocean go on about nature and killing people, and she asks him where he's from and he says that he needs to go, but he says that he never met her before and she's all confused. She tries doing some sneaking, but he punches her and he's snooping through her shit. She explains about evil Nigella and he's like, lol, okay. Apparently he was like a brother to evil Nigella.
Sure, art collectors are supposed to have this much swag.
Oh no, she said, I hate the subtitle.
This party's about to look like the Hunger Games.
Luke then stutters because Luke is lame. Apparently they set up flying jets to come to this random area and then fly out after the setup of the auction so no one can catch them. It's like it's secret or something, but it's just kind of in the open. Like, how does no one see this massive art auction fancy shit going on? Ryan turns up with the batarang and walks in. This entire thing looks like a random dock. She gets chewed out by the person at the door and then gets saved by this bitch and asks for his pronouns. He says he's a they them and they make more terrible references. So this guy is like some weird mafia art door salesman and he still is careful about his pronouns because that's something that he cares about. I guess so.
Pronouns?
He, him, they, them.
No!
We find out that this bitch is selling drugs to make money, and Ryan talks to Black Lightning about her lesbian drama. She finds the painting and there's some like hacking thing, and then she touches the painting and no one seems to give a shit about that in a very obvious move, but everyone is so oblivious at this secret high security art auction run by the mafia. She openly has a conversation with Luke on her earpiece and yet again no one notices. Alice argues with Ocean Man and he says that she's retarded and she argues some more. I mean, I think she's retarded too. Then he tries to kill her and has some flashbacks and it looks like he has an orgasm. I mean, have a good time, man. Ryan raids the bathroom and gets an owie while she's trying to put her suit on, and this other bitch comes in to steal the painting and just kind of stands there while the other dude steals it. Oh no, he can do flips! Someone stop this man! He's undefeatable! He's more undefeatable than Rich Evans! He does some more flips and gets away after like 40 minutes of flips, but she tries to jump after him and just falls down.
Nimble little bastard.
They use some default sounds for the guns and they finally run the fucker over and argue about bad driving while they're standing there just looking at this dude. Or we think that they kill him because they injure him pretty badly and just leave him there while he takes the painting because all crows are bastards or whatever, and Ryan hates this because Ryan is a good person and she needs to fight back against all of the bad things because Ryan is the good things. Apparently isn't dead, and Asian brings up toxic masculinity because this is what we're doing in this show now.
Backed by a 4,800-pound hunk of toxic masculinity.
Luke and Ryan argue.
Your taste sucks.
She takes all the bullets because she is the true bats? Alice then keeps talking to Ocean and goes on about guilt tripping him, about being held prisoner, and says that she ended up with evil Nigella because she was an impressive fighter. I don't know what the fuck. Because she was on a boat or something, and then Nigella's crew showed up, and then Alice was so impressive that Nigella was like, yo, come to this island and shit. She thinks that evil Nigella erased both of their memories, but then the assassins show up and they beat the shit out of them. Then Ryan says Black Lightning is bad because she believes in the crows and she needs to, because Black Lightning wants to change things from the inside and be patient about these things, and Ryan acts like he needs to burn it all down because change isn't good enough or something, and then she flies away. I guess this is what's going on now. Asian sasses this guy who stole the painting and says that he was almost dead because he's wearing spandex. The crows got the painting, but it was a forgery. This episode was a waste of time. Ryan has an owie again because the green shit is spreading across her chest. Alice and Ocean are laughing along, and they have a flashback of them kissing, and they have had the painting the entire time.
My way to get through.
So this doctor is running some trials. They have that cure from the last time when the bats attacked the city, but it fucks up with this old man, and they review the footage like, what happened? They're trying to replicate it because they ran out of the cure, but they can't, so they give some more exposition about the troubles they're having, and they need to find out where it came from, and they're very desperate for this. This insane guy starts reeing as soon as they opened the door and attempts to attack them, but they say that they're gonna get a cure for him no matter what, and they need him to help them out. Rachel Maddow says Batwoman is staying and protecting the city. Ryan has a fighting montage with more awful music, but she gets an owie again. This bitch needs the doctor, but no one is coming, so this cunt bitches about race again and guilts this passing doctor into finding someone in case he gets cancelled on Twitter.
Actually, have you heard of a little issue in your medical community called implicit bias? Reason black women die of neglect at a disproportionately high rate.
They do some fluffy flirting shit, and then the doctor shows up. They give her some antibiotics and go on about insurance because this cunt says antibiotics aren't good enough and she'll pay for it. Hospital system bad. But this cunt can't get out of her drug job because rich people bad. Meanwhile, Alice thinks that Ocean was behind the gay up to kill Kate the entire time, and they're arguing because she's retarded. He wants to leave, but she's like, no, and then he says that the reason that he's on evil Nigella's hit list is because he left the island with the flower. Alice says that she did the same thing, and she and him were fucking, and they got their memories erased of them fucking for some reason. But Black Lightning announces the painting is a fake, and Jacob is like, what? But they got Ocean's fingerprints, so they have to go and find him. I don't know why they're making a big deal of it as if they didn't reveal that the painting was a fake before in the previous episode. Asian and Jacob get hit by a car, and this crazy man decides to take Asian.
Caramba, that really hurt.
Black Lightning, or Crowfie,
What do you want, Crowfie?
as she's now called, needs to find the cunt who has the drug thing because she sells the drug bad, and Black Lightning asks Ryan to help. They argue about it for a while because drug bad, so Black Lightning gives her an app that will record shit on cunt's phone, and the condition is that cunt goes free if they find the supplier, so Ryan has no choice but to do it. Asian and Jacob wake up in the bootleg hospital and face the funniest character I have seen in my entire life. Look at him go!
First hostage. No, I mean me. I've never done this before.
Very spontaneous race issue.
He needs to ask for an antidote, and Jacob doesn't know about what's happening. Asian gives her backstory while Jacob looks mildly confused, and she says that she doesn't have it anymore because her blood got like fucked up or something, and the angry man gets confused. She also reveals that this clinic is hers, and Jacob again looks mildly confused. Ryan wants this cunt to get a job at the bar. They flirt and pad out the runtime, but long story short, she doesn't want to do it because she likes selling drugs to influencers and she doesn't actually want to quit it. Then she guilt trips Ryan and brings up Brangelina?
Some of us didn't get Brangelina from the group home.
And then Ryan gets an owie again. She uses this to get the phone bugged while this cunt is looking for medication. Black Lightning is like, you did the thing, but you keep being in bad places to do the thing. And Ryan brings up her love life and guilts Black Lightning about leaving Kate and the whole military story from the first season. The doctor calls and tells Ryan that she has radiation. He talks like a real doctor and not a bad script whatsoever.
Radioactive material. So
unless you were taking selfies at Chernobyl.
But Asian repeats that she doesn't have more of the cure to the crazy man, so the crazy man gets angry and stabs Jacob. That man has been stabbed so many times and he's completely fine. He will be fine. But Jacob is mad at Asian for doing the whole bootleg hospital thing. She guilts him for ignoring everything about her, and she says that he's fine if he dies because they can't tell the crazy man about evil Nigella. Then the mad dude gives his life story about how he went mad from the things that the doctors did to him and talks about laughter, and it's basically a ripoff of the Joker movie. He has cancer now as well and he needs the cure, and then he stabs Jacob again. He says that he doesn't even feel anything anymore because he's edgy. Asian decides the best course of action is to tell him everything. Meanwhile, Alice talks about fucking Ocean and he isn't really convinced about that. Ryan reads the wiki about how the green shit is bad for you and the bat suit got penetrated and she's gonna die or some shit, and explains how she did bad things with her girlfriend. And Luke explains things about Ocean. Black Lightning was lying about why she needed Ryan the entire time, because the info that she really wanted was on Ocean. Luke says that Alice had turned up in the beginning of the episode and Ryan is like, why didn't you call 911? Which would be a good response, but Ryan had said that all the crows are bastards before, and I don't really know what her angle is. Like, why would you call 911? You know, never mind. Asian calls them and says like a bat out of hell, which is a code for them to get Batwoman to save her. I don't know why the crazy man doesn't understand this obvious line. But then Ryan gets an owie again, so they don't know what they're gonna do.
No, like a bat out of hell.
Meanwhile, Asian is like, why you making me kill boyfriend? And Nigella is like, haha, get wrecked. Ryan explains her owie to Luke. She makes a big speech about why it's his fault that she's sick because she doesn't do anything wrong, and he apologizes, even though he didn't do anything wrong, and she needs to go to Asian now. She chews him out again for good measure. Then Ocean is going to be killed, but a very bad cover of Blondie is played, and as an avid fan of Blondie, I am triggered. They get a flashback and Black Lightning shows up to cock block them before they can start doing the underpants Charleston. She apparently showed up without backup, and then she says that she's gonna bring backup even though she should have brought them already. Why not just have it with you? Ocean uses the painting as leverage, and it has a map inside it to get to evil Nigella's island. Then it just cuts away from the interesting part and Black Lightning just has the map. Lord knows how that happened. Ryan is gonna raid the island and help Asian, who's still dealing with the crazy man. Jacob is still mildly confused, but Black Lightning shows up just in time and beats some people while Asian gets choked out. Jacob is fine after being stabbed 50 million times. Ryan immediately uses this shot that she got, that Luke gave her, that she had to use in an emergency, and she just uses it now, like, okay. Please tell me that a fake map is in that. Asian then finds out about how bad Ryan owie is and how the meds are not working. Luke recaps the episode and Ryan's character. They go on about how cool Ryan is and how much of a hero she is. Jacob is like, why is everyone stupid? Thinks Asian bringing up the map was a good idea after all. They defend Asian's evil mom even though she was evil, and Jacob says he wants the bootleg hospital to be shut down because it's illegal, and she preaches to him about how hospital good. They also mentioned that the evil Asian mom was conducting human experiments and that they didn't know this prior, and Asian is not qualified, and that this is bad for her because she could end up doing the same thing, which is like kind of a good point because she could unwittingly do that because she doesn't really know what she's doing. But the show once again acts like he's the bad guy, and she storms out while sad music plays. Black Lightning listens to Ryan and Cunt having a conversation, and Cunt already knows that there's some sort of spyware on her phone. Cunt hates that Ryan is a snitch, and then they argue about drug bad. Terrible music plays exactly what the scene is conveying, and everyone sucks.
Did you ever really love me?
No.
Alice then stabs Ocean, or that's what we think is happening, because in the meantime, she shows that she actually made a fake face for whoever they really stabbed, and they're running off together. I guess they finally remembered that she has that face skill thing, so they decide to use that instead to escape because they forgot about it for the rest of the season. But that's what happened, yay!
No!
The next video is going to be some 13 Reasons Why stuff because I'm kind of into the groove about how bad this show is, and I need to talk about it. But after that, I've mentioned Harry Potter a bunch of times, and I have a really long video coming up around the end of the month that's going to be like a really unnecessarily long detailed thing of me ripping it apart. So there's also gonna be some art in there because I haven't really showed myself doing art that much on this channel, and I wanted to get back into it. My art's not that good, but you know, bear with me. While I'm ripping apart the story, feel free to rip apart my art because you know, that's how improvement happens, even though there's a lot to improve on. So that's kind of our plan for the week. For once I actually know what I'm doing for video planning, so I hope that that's convenient information. Anyways, drug bad.